The salat in al-Islam, ikhwani, is one of the most important things in the month of Ramadan. And that's because salat is important throughout the life. There is nothing in al-Islam that is more important than the prayer. Khurram. After the tawheed of Allah, the tawheed of Allah, in terms of actions, there is nothing, Abdullah, nothing more important than the salah. Nothing. Jihad, birru walidain, anything you can think about. Establishing the khilafah, everything is important in Islam, but the single most important issue is a salat. And that's why the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, inna awwala ma yuhasabu bihi al-abdu min a'malihi yawm al-qiyamah salat. First thing that Allah is going to ask you about yawm al-qiyamah, is going to ask you about that prayer. That's the first thing. That's the very first thing. Concerning the actions that you do in your body, there is nothing in Islam more important than this prayer. Nothing. And that's why during the khilaf of Umar, when that man stabbed Umar, the companions were praying. That man stabbed Umar. And then he ran and he stabbed 13, 14 people and he ran off. The companions didn't stop praying. Abdurrahman ibn Auf, he stood up in the place of Umar and he read short surahs, and the people finished the prayer. And then they took care of the people. Now, if they stopped praying, we couldn't blame them. We're going to pray Salat al-Maghrib. In some masjid, the imam gets a heart attack or something happens. And when something happens, everybody's going to stop praying and fix the situation. You can't blame us. Companions didn't stop. Abdurrahman ibn Auf went and he prayed short, and then they took care of the people. Umar radiallahu anhu, when they were trying to bring him back to life, he was falling out. They said, no, Amir al-Mu'minin, don't go to sleep, don't go to sleep, don't go to sleep. They tried to keep him awake. They gave him some milk. It came out of his intestines. They know he's going to die because the milk came out of his stomach. So he was going to die, and the people couldn't wake him up. Abdullah ibn Abbas said, I know what will wake him up. Abdullah ibn Abbas, his job, during the khilaf of Umar, one of his jobs that he used to receive a salary from the Bayt al-Mal, one of his jobs was, by the amount of time that it takes to read 100 ayah, he would go to Umar, or no matter where he was, what he was doing, he said, Amir al-Mu'mineen, it's almost time for salat. The adhan didn't even go off yet. The amount of time it took, about 100 ayah, he would say, Amir al-Mu'mineen, get ready for salat. So for 13 years, Abdullah ibn Abbas was doing that. 13 years. So it's in the DNA of Umar. Abdullah ibn Abbas went and said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, as-salat. It's time for salat. They couldn't wake him up. When he heard that, he woke up. He said to the community, Wallahi, la iman liman la salata lahu. There's no iman for the person who doesn't pray. There's no iman for the person who doesn't pray. During the khilaf of Umar, he wrote a letter to his governors, all of the Muslim empire, and he wrote to the leaders of it. He said, the thing I'm most concerned about for you people is the prayer. So anyway, ikhwani, we want to talk about the position of the prayer in Ramadan, because it's a golden opportunity for many of us to get a lot of rewards and also to solve a lot of the problems that maybe we fell into. For an example, some of us did not pray at a time in our lives when we should have been praying. When I came into this religion, I came into the religion with some Asians in America, Pakistani people. They were the people who I met. So when they taught me the prayer, they were teaching me stuff that wasn't correct. They didn't know. They taught me I had to memorize in English transliteration. No way to an usalli salat al-dhuhr khalf hadha al-imam. I don't even know Arabic. Now I have to memorize all of this stuff. They told me before each prayer, after each prayer, I had to pray all of these sunnah prayers. It must have been about 1,000 prayers they told me I have to pray. I was like, man, this is hard. Before dhuhr, you got to pray this. After dhuhr, this. And they didn't tell me 2 or 4. It was a lot. And it was tough. But anyway, some people, when they miss prayers, when they should be praying prayer in their life, he was 16, 17, 18, 20, and he wasn't praying. Now he's praying, he's practicing. What does he do about those prayers that he missed? What does he do? In the Asian community, the person makes qada. There's no qadha. There's no qaza for a salat that you left off intentionally. A prayer that was left off intentionally, no qaza. Qaza is for the person who he forgot about the prayer. He slept unintentionally, woke up, he can make that qaza. Something has happened and he can't make the prayer. Like the Prophet was in jihad and he missed Salat al-Asr because he was fighting the enemy. So he missed Asr because he couldn't tell the enemy, hey, wait, we're going to go and pray Asr. So Asr went out. So he made qaza. So what do we do? The person, he didn't pray for 10 years, 5 years, so he's trying to make qaza. You can't even know how many prayers you missed. So there's a way you can do that, and we'll come to that. You can do that by making salat al-tarawih. You can do that by increasing your prayers, like the greeting of the masjid, tahiyatul masjid, and other than that. But I just want to say, number one, the prayer in al-Islam, ikhwani, is not something that we do just on Friday or just 5 times a day. Like in these churches, the synagogue, they worship Allah, pray on Saturday, Christians on Sunday for 1 hour, and that's it. That's not the life of the Muslim. The prayer is connected to everybody's life. Put the 5 prayers on the side. Put them on the side. I'm not even talking about those. Put the 5 prayers on the side. Prayer is connected in your life concerning everything. And that's the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ista'inu bis-sabri was-salat, inna Allaha ma'as-sabirin. O you who believe, seek Allah's assistance by having sabr and by praying. Everybody's here right now. This one has financial problems. That one over there, he wants to get married. That one over there, his parents are not understanding him. This one has marital problems. This one over here, his paperwork, his visa is going to run out. They don't want to renew his visa. He's going to go back. That one, everybody has issues. Allah said, if you want to handle your issue, do it with sabr and salat. Sabr and salat. Another ayat similar to that. Allah mentioned in the Quran, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِئِينَ. Allah commanded, get Allah's help for what you want to do by having sabr and salat. And it's difficult except for the people who have the fear of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And that's why the righteous people in the Quran, Allah described them that they had to tell their families to make prayer and to have sabr. وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاسْتَبْرْ عَلَيْهَا. Order your family to pray and to have patience and to remain steadfast on this prayer. So because of that, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, anytime something bothered him, anytime something went on in his life, he legislated a salat for that particular thing. And the salat of at-tarawih can help you in that. Don't look at Shaykh Ditta. Don't look at the salat at-tarawih as just, oh, this is one of the added things we have to do in Ramadan. I have to fast and pray. Don't look at tarawih like that. Tarawih by itself is important. Man qama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbi. Anyone who prays tarawih and he believes in it and he'll get a reward, Allah will forgive him. But tarawih is more than that. Tarawih can help you out with a lot of issues. Look what happened. Anytime the Nabi had a problem, anytime, he went to that salat, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Our mother Salama, he said that the Prophet was sleeping, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he woke up. And he came inside and he was disturbed. And he said to them, وَيْلٌ لِلْعَرَبِ مِنْ شَرٍ اقْتَرَبَتْ فُتِيَ الْيَوْمِ رَدْمُ يَأْجُوجُ وَمَأْجُوجُ مِثْلُ هَذَا. He woke up, he was disturbed. He said, woe unto the Muslims from the evil that has come close. He said, I saw that the wall, the hole of Ya'juj and Ma'juj, it has been opened this much. Ikhwani, you know when the bombs go off in Iraq and the bombs go off in Pakistan, and some of you saw on the YouTube the stabbings that they were doing to each other in Syria, some of this craziness that we see Beni Adam doing, all of that fitna and drama, it is a walk in the park compared to Ya'juj and Ma'juj. It is a walk in the park. I saw some African people, I don't know who they were, they had a lady in the ground, she was buried in the ground, and they stoned her to death. When they were showing it, I couldn't look, I was nervous. I don't want to see something like that, and I would advise you people to look at that, because it takes the rahmah out of the heart of the person. I would advise you to look at that. When they started to throw the rocks, I said, I can't watch that. That stuff like that is a walk in the park when Ya'juj and Ma'juj come out. And where is Ya'juj and Ma'juj? The Prophet ﷺ said that they are at some big wall. Every day when the sun comes up, they come out and they're trying to break, and they break. And when Maghrib comes, it closes back up. They said, okay, we got to come back tomorrow, inshallah. The Muslim, you young brothers, the Muslim, he can't say, oh, they didn't see Ya'juj and Ma'juj in the satellite. Don't be like that. That plane that went down in Malaysia, how many days ago, how many weeks now, months now, they still didn't find that plane. And many of us didn't even know that that area where that plane went down at, there in that area, in that ocean, that area, we didn't even know that that area is one of the areas where mankind doesn't even know much about that place. We thought these people knew a lot of stuff. So because they can't find a Dajjal, because they can't find Ya'juj and Ma'juj, don't you be the kind of person who says, well, mankind didn't find it, so it must not be there. Ya'juj and Ma'juj. When the Prophet saw this in his dream, he said to the people, Man yuqid sawahib al-hujurat. Who will go and wake up my wives so that they can pray the night prayer? He said, Rubba kasiyatin fid dunya, ariyatun fil akhirah. He said, because maybe a person will have clothes in the dunya, but in the hereafter he's going to be naked. The meaning of that is, he's covered with clothes in the dunya. People don't see his reality. They really don't know what he's doing. They think he's practicing, she's practicing. She got jilbab, hijab, niqab. But in the hereafter, naked, because they didn't do the deeds. They didn't do what they were supposed to be doing. So the proof. The Prophet was nervous. He was terrorized. He was afraid. As a result of that, he told his family members, get up and pray. Get up and pray. Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman in the battle of al-Ahzab, the ditch, the battle of the ditch, Rasulullah sent Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman to go to the side of the Quraysh. And Quraysh had a lot of people. The first time the Arabs came together in one group to defeat the enemy. It never happened in their history. All of the Kuffar of Mecca came together. The Arabs, all of them came together to defeat the Muslims. So they had a lot of people. So Prophet Muhammad dug a ditch. He told Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman, Hudayfa, I want you to go and spy by yourself. You go over there. Hudayfa didn't say, Ya Rasulullah, what are you choosing me for? He just got up and left. And now the Muslim, he comes into the masjid, he doesn't pray 2 rakats. And he hears that the Prophet said, don't sit down till you pray 2 rakat. And he's afraid and embarrassed to get up. Don't do like that, Akhi. Don't be like that. I'm going to come back to Hudayfa and this ditch. I just want to make this point, Ikhwani. It's important. It's a point of Ahlul Hadith, the people of the Sunnah. You know, Shafa'ah, intercession. Rasulullah will have intercession for 6 people, Yawm al-Qiyamah. Intercession. I only want to mention 2 people, inshallah. He is going to intercede for some Muslims who are in the hellfire burning. They're burning. And they're supposed to be in there longer. But Rasulullah will come and get involved and get them out of the hellfire. And then they'll be put in the spring of water and they're going to come to life. He'll intercede for those people. Second group, a group of Muslims who deserve to go in the hellfire. They're supposed to go into the hellfire. But Rasulullah will come and say, no, ask Allah, no, don't let them go. And then they won't go. But who's he going to do that for? He's going to do that for the person who stab up people and say, this is Islam. This is what Muhammad came to do. Is he going to do that for the person who says, Ya Rasulullah al-Madad al-Madad, Ya Ali al-Madad al-Madad, Ya Shaykh Abdul Qadir al-Jailani al-Madad al-Madad. He's making shirk. He's going to make la wallahi. He won't do intercession for them. Wallahi, he won't do intercession for them. How do we know? Yawm al-Qiyamah, the Prophet will be given a fountain. It's called the Hawd, not the Kawthar. The Kawthar is something else. Inna ataynaka al-Kawthar, that's something else. He will be given a fountain. He said the people will come to that fountain, they're going to be hot. And when they drink from that fountain, they're going to be khalas, finished, no thirst. The cups are like the number of stars in the sky. The fountain is white as milk. It's sweet as honey. It smells good. Anyone who drinks from it is never going to be thirsty again. The people will come. A group of his companions will come. His people will come from his community. The malaika will come and say, no, you can't drink. You can't drink. Prophet Muhammad would try to come and say, they're from my community. Let them drink. The malaika will say to Prophet Muhammad, إِنَّكَ لَا تَدْرِي مَا أَحْدَثُ مِنْ بَعْدِكَ. You don't know what they introduced in your religion after you. You don't know. Hazir, Nazir, Ilm al-Ghaybi, didn't die, Nur of Allah, Shabbarat. You don't know what he did. And then the Prophet, what he's going to say? He's going to say, Suhqan, Suhqan. Get him away. Get him away from my fountain. He won't intercede for them. Get them away from my fountain. Because he knows people who change the religion, they're going to be responsible for little generations of Muslims coming, worshiping Allah in the wrong way. Anyway, Ikhwani. Session will be for the people who they say sallallahu alaihi wasallam a lot. They're the people who try to practice the sunnah. They're the people who try to defend the sunnah, spread the sunnah. They're the people who, when they hear the adhan, they make the dua that the Prophet will give you his intercession. The intercession is not just kalam, I'm a Muslim intercession. You have to do the right, you have to do some things. Although we may not be perfect. We're not perfect. But the man came and said, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, who would I be with Yawm al-Qiyamah? Rasulullah said, you will be with the one you love. He said, I love you. He said, then you'll be with me. He said, but I don't do all the works that you do. He said, as long as you love me. So, Ikhwani, listen. Over there, Hudayfa, he went. He sat with the kuffar to find out what they were saying. When he came back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he came back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he saw that the Prophet was praying. He was praying. Why was he praying? Hudayfa said, Kana sallallahu alayhi wa sallam idha hazabahu amrun salah. If something bothered him, he would pray. That's his sunnah. In the battle of Badr, all of the Muslims went to sleep. Ali ibn Abi Talib said everyone went to sleep except Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said he made 2 rakats towards a tree. Why did he make 2 rakats towards a tree? He made 2 rakats towards a tree because whenever a Muslim prays, he has to take a sutra. He has to have something when he puts his head on the ground. There's something in front of him to prevent people from walking in front of him. The wall, the book, the thing. He shouldn't pray here and there's nothing in front of him. If the Prophet traveled in the middle of the desert, he would take his spear and put it in the ground and pray towards that spear. He would make his camel sit down. He'll pray towards the camel. And if a sheep tried to walk in front of him, he would stop the sheep from walking in front of him. So he prayed towards the sutra. After praying 2 rakats, Ali said, Prophet Muhammad did his hands like this. And he was saying, Allahumma in tuhlik hadhihi al-fi'atu min al-nas lan tu'bad. Oh Allah, if my companions, if these people are killed, you won't be worshipped on the face of the earth. That's one hadith. Pay attention. Rasulullah made that dua. Second hadith. A blind man came. He said, Ya Rasulullah, ud'ullah li an yu'afiyani. Ask Allah to make me able to see. Prophet Muhammad said, in shit, akhartu laka wa khayr. Wa in shit, da'awtu laka. If you want, I won't make the dua for you and it's better for you to be patient. But if you insist, I'll make the dua for you. The man said, no, make the dua. The Prophet said, okay, you pray. He said, do a good wudu, and then pray 2 rak'at, and then you make dua to Allah. Those 2 hadith, and other than those hadith, the scholars of Islam said, these hadith are called, this salat is called Salatul Haja. Salat al-Haja. Al-Haja is when you need something. That man, he's sick. He wants to be cured. He needs something big. The Prophet said, make wudu, good wudu. Make 2 rak'ats. And you make dua. Rasulullah was making dua to Allah Azza wa Jal. Oh Allah, help us. Salatul Hajjah. So, Ikhwani, pay attention, pay attention. If a Muslim is in need of something, he has to make a good wudu. He has to make 2 rakat. And he has to ask Allah for what he wants. That lady over there, she having trouble giving tarbiyah to her kids. They don't listen. 3, 4 kids, they're not listening. Let her make 2 rakats. Let her do that and ask Allah, Allah, give me this help. That guy over there, he wants to learn how to drive. He wants to get his license. He fell 6 times already. I don't know anybody who fell 6 times. I'm just saying, he fell 6 times. Make Salatul Hajjah. He wants to pass the exam. He wants to get married. He wants to get the job. Salatul Hajjah. Anytime something confronted the Nabi, he will make that Salatul Hajjah. So in Taraweeh, it's more than just, another added burden. No. Each 2 rakat of a Taraweeh, make it your Salatul Hajjah. Each 2 rakat of Taraweeh, oh Allah, I need this, and I need that, and I need that. And as you pray you become more rejuvenated, as opposed to the guy who's just standing there and he just can't wait till it's all done. So that goes to show that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to connect this prayer to every aspect of his life. So a Taraweeh can be something that is more than just a Taraweeh. And what was collected by Imam al-Bukhari on the authority of Jabir ibn Abdullah. And Jabir ibn Abdullah was one of the 6 companions that narrated the majority of the hadith from the youngsters. All 6 of them were young. All 6 of them were young. Abu Huraira, Abdullah ibn Amr, Ibn al-As, Abdullah ibn Abbas, Abdullah ibn Zubair, Abdullah ibn Umar, Anas ibn Malik, Jabir ibn Abdullah, and then Abu Sa'id al-Khudri and Aisha. They were all young people. When the Prophet died, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, none of them was beyond the age of 18. So our elders have to understand, those youngsters, they have a role to play. They have a role to play. And that came why? Because the Prophet paid attention to those youngsters. Jabir bin Abdullah, and what was collected by al-Bukhari, he said that the Nabi mentioned sallallahu alaihi wasallam, إِذَا هَمَّ أَحَدُكُمْ بِالْأَمْرِ فَلْيَرْكَعْ رَكَعَتَيْنِ مِنْ غَيْرِ الْفَرِيدَةِ ثُمَّ لِيَقُولْ اللهم إني أستخيرك بعلمك واستقدرك بقدرتك وأسألك من فضلك العظيم فإنك تقدر ولا أقدر وتعلم ولا أعلم وأنت علام الغيوب إلى آخره. He said, if any of you wants to complete something, any of you want to do something, you want to buy a car, you want to sell a car, you want to open a business, you want to choose which plumber to bring, which sparky to bring, you want to travel, he said, if any of you wants to do something, then pray 2 rakats that are not wajib. Tahiyatul masjid, the Taraweeh, the salat of wudu. He said, pray 2 rakat and then make this dua. And this dua, istikhara. Al-istikhara. The salat is connected to the life of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Put the 5 prayers aside. Put those aside. The salat is connected to the life of the Muslim. He asked me. So those companions, what did they do? They used to make salat al-istikhara to decide what type of shoestring is he going to buy. He goes to the marketplace, he sees that shoestring, he goes, he makes wudu, he makes 2 rakats, istikhara, and he chooses that shoestring right there. What about for bigger issues? Istikhara is not a part of the normal Muslim today. It has to be a part of it. And now, Salatul Taraweeh. I don't make istikhara a lot. It's not a part of who I am. Okay? It's Taraweeh. Make your istikhara now. Another example, Sahih Bukhari. Tremendous example, Ikhwani. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu he had a son. One of his sons, his last son who died, his name was Ibrahim radiyallahu anhu. Ibrahim lived for 18 months and then he died. If Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if we have to make dua to him, why would his son die? He couldn't help his son from dying. Some of the kuffar at the battle of Badr, they hit the Prophet's head and they bust his head open. They knocked his tooth out. He said, كيف يحفل القوم شجوا رباعية نبيهم. How is a people ever going to be successful who broke their Prophet's teeth? He said that. He was angry. So in the salah, he said, Sami Allah liman hamida. And then he raised his hand and he started making dua. Oh Allah, curse this one from Quraysh. Curse that one. Curse this one. Curse that one. Curse this one. And then Allah revealed that ayah to Prophet Muhammad, saying to him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, laysa laka fil amri min shay. You know, in yatubu Allahu alayhim. Hey Muhammad, you don't have anything to do with it, whether Allah guides them or not. Don't curse these people. And then Allah guided all of those people who the Prophet cursed and made them Muslims. So the Prophet couldn't stop himself from getting hit in the head. He couldn't stop his enemy from getting his tooth knocked out. Why would someone come and make dua to something that can't stop harm coming to himself? His uncle was dying. His uncle. He said, Ya Ammi, uncle, just say La ilaha illallah, you're going to go to Jannah. And he died on the religion of his forefathers as a kafir. Rasulullah couldn't cause him to be guided. Don't make dua to the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His son died. He couldn't do anything about it because he's a makhluk. Now, I don't say he's just a makhluk. He's just a bashar. He's a big, big makhluk. He's the khair khalqillah. But nonetheless, he's not Allah. He's not the khaliq. Anyway, his son died. When his son died, the sun was out and the moon came between the earth and the sun. So it got dark. It was dark. When the Muslims saw that, they said, oh, there's an eclipse because Ibrahim died. Mu'jiza. Whoa. Now, some of the Maulvi Saabs in the UK, some of the Maulvi Saabs and the Imams in the UK, we take advantage of the people and things like this. We take advantage of them. We take their money. We make them pay us £500 for this and that. We take advantage and we steal from the people. The person says he has evil eye, I have magic. The Maulvi Saab say, yeah, you got married. Here, he writes something. He said, you just burn this and then drink it. He doesn't know if he has magic, don't matter. He just did money. Give me £500. Rasulullah wasn't like that. When his son died, he could have taken advantage of all of the people. But what did he do? He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Inna shamsa wal qamar ayatani min ayati Allahi. لا ينكسفان لموت أحد ولا لحياته إنما يخوف الله بهما عباده فإذا رأيتم ذلك فصلوا وادعوا حتى ينكشف ما بكم. He said the sun and the moon are two ayat from the ayat of Allah. They do not eclipse because someone dies or because someone is alive. He said they are signs that Allah uses to make his slaves afraid. Afraid how? That sun and that moon, that's what's going to happen Yawm al-Qiyamah. The person who sees that eclipse, he should say, hey, this is an ayah. Someone's responsible for that sun and the moon. So the Prophet said, so if you see this happen, he said, pray and make dua until Allah causes it to finish. So everything connected to his life, it was salat. Not just 5 prayers, praying on Jummah. There's the Jummah Muslim, he only pray on Jummah. Then there's the Muslim who never prays unless he's with someone who prays. If he's by someone who prays, he'll pray. And then you have the Muslim who only prays their Eid, that's it. His prayer is just nice clothes and he gets those shoes. You know those shoes from Pakistan with the point that go out like that? That's all it is. Prayer is more than that. Prayer is connected. If someone dies, Ikhwani in Islam, if someone dies, there's salat al-janazah. It's prayer for everything. Everything. A companion on the authority of the tabi'i, his name is Abbad ibn Tamim. He said that his uncle said The land was parched in Medina because in Arabia the sun is hot. There was a drought. So the Prophet ﷺ made istisqa. Istisqa is a prayer that you make for the rain. There's no rain, he would pray 2 rakat. After the 2 rakat, he would get on the minbar and then he would start giving dawah to the people. And he would tell the people, the rain is held back by Allah because we sin. So if you don't want to have this drought, then don't sin, make tawbah. And he would start giving dawah about the rain. And then after he finished the khutbah, he would take his hat. Let me see your hat. Sorry about that. He would take his hat, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if he had a hat, he wore it like this, he would take it and put it the other way. If he had a bisht, you know, like the imams wear in Mecca and Medina, you know that thing. If he had something like that, a cloak, he would take it off and turn it inside out. The scholars gave many reasons why he did that. It's like on the day of the Eid. When he went to the musalla to pray, he would go down one street and then he would come home on another street. There's a reason for that. Why didn't he go down one street and come back the same street? And those companions, Ikhwani, every time they saw something from the Nabi, they asked the question, why, this, that. It wasn't like the Muslim today. The Muslim, he doesn't care. Doesn't make a difference to him. So why did he change this thing? It's because he used to be an optimistic person. Prophet Muhammad was optimistic. If you put the glass in front of him and it was half way, he would say that glass is half full. He wasn't like some of our mothers, some of our fathers, some of us. We say to the kid, you'll never be anything. You'll never do anything right. You're no good. Come on, man. The clock that's broke. The clock is not working. It's right 2 times every day. Every day. No one is all no good. No one. Not even Iblis is all no good. Allah said, Lo aradallahu, the Prophet said, Lo aradallahu an la yu'sa lamma khalaqa Iblis. If Allah didn't want to be disobeyed, he wouldn't have never created Iblis. The meaning, he doesn't want to be disobeyed. But he created Iblis because with Iblis, people are going to show their level of iman and commitment and taqwa. So Iblis serves a purpose, just like the dogs. The black dog, the dogs are no good, but they bring something to the table. He said, Lola anna al-kilab ummatun amthalakum lamartu bi qatliha. If those dogs were not a nation like you, I would have ordered kill the dogs. But the dog brings some benefit. He can help you to hunt. He can be a guard dog. He can help the blind. Different things that he does. So the Prophet was optimistic. Ya akhi. Optimistic. Someone give you the glass. You say, that's all I get? That's all? Man, you better be happy what you have right now. What you talking about? That's all you get. The lady came, Rasulullah said, what's your name? Again, if he knew the ilm al-ghayb, he wouldn't ask, what's your name? He said, what's your name? The lady said, Asiya, Ma'asiya. I'm the disobedient one. Her mother called her father called the Asiya, the disobedient one. The Prophet said, Enti Jamila, your name is Jamila. He changed your name. You're not the disobedient one. You're beautiful. That's your name. So the Muslim has to be optimistic. Now, Ikhwani, optimistic doesn't mean you don't study and prepare for the exam. You don't do anything and you say, I'm optimistic, I'm going to pass tomorrow. I'm optimistic. It doesn't mean that. That's a person who is irresponsible. Optimistic means victory is going to be for the Muslims, no matter what you see today. Victory is going to be for the people of the Sunnah, no matter what you see today. That's the promise of Allah Ta'ala. Victory, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ مِنْكُمْ وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Allah promised. He promised that. And so many ayahs mention, لَا يُخْلِفُ اللَّهُ الْمِيعَادِ. Allah doesn't break his promise. And for some of our older brothers who are aware, brothers who are more, exposed, we have a group of people in this country, they're everywhere in the world, who have taken the dawah of al-hadith and the salafi and the dawah of the sunnah, and they corrupted it with their rough and tough way. Every masjid is not on the sunnah unless you're with them. This masjid is not on the sunnah unless you're with them. And I know they won't consider this masjid from the sunnah. They got some nonsense. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Allah Ta'ala, the promise of Allah is that the people of at-taqwa al-iman al-haq is always going to rise to the top. Always. It's the sunnah of Allah. We're almost done here, Khwani, just to open up the opportunity for some Q&A, but I'm just telling you, there are a lot of prayers. From the prayers that you can use for salat at-tarawih is what Abu Bakr as-Siddiq narrated, radiyallahu anhu wa ardahu. And that hadith has been collected by Imam Ahmed and other than him. Abu Bakr said that the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, مَا مِنْ عَبْدٍ يُذْنِبُ ذَنْبٍ ثُمَّ يَتَوَضَّأُ فَيُحْسِنُ الطُّهُورَ ثُمَّ يُصَلِّي رَكَعَتَيْنِ ثُمَّ يَسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهَ لِذَلِكَ الذَّنْبَ إِلَّا غَفَرَ اللَّهُ لَهُ. There is no slave who makes a sin and a mistake, any mistake that he makes, and then he makes wudu, and he makes a good wudu, and then he prays 2 rakat, and then he asks Allah, forgive me for that mistake, except that Allah will forgive him for that mistake. So for the salat at-tarawih, there are many things you didn't do, many things you made mistakes on. Each 2 rakats throughout the course of the year, you know what you did. I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. Make your niyyah for the salat at-tarawih, or other than the tarawih, make it for this prayer. The last thing that we want to mention, because my brother said he wants at least 20 minutes. Are you the boss here? You're the one who's calling the shots? But you were telling me everything what to do. Who's the boss here, Shaykh Habibur Rahman? Allah. He wasn't the boss. He was telling me everything to do. You know the ayat, we mentioned it. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. We gave you the kawthar. Allah said, فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ. This fa, فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ. In Arabic language, they call this fa as-sababiyya. I think that word is in Urdu, in your language. Sabab, sabab. What is sabab in your language? Sabab. Reason. They call this the fa as-sababiyya. Ya Muhammad, we gave you the kawthar. And because of this kawthar, as a result of this reason, of this thing, فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. Then you should pray. So this ayat shows, if Allah gives you something, gave you a baby, He gave you the job, He gave you some ni'mah, then from the Prophet's religion is to pray to Allah Azza wa Jal, shukr for what He gave you. And the least that he should do is make sajda to shukr. That's the least he should do. You don't have to have wudu. You don't have to face the qibla. Even if you don't have any wudu. You just fall down and you thank Allah Azza wa Jal for the thing that He gave you. I'm with my man right here, my man, 50 grand. His name is Khurram. I came out of the masjid or somewhere. He was driving. He saw me. He said, you need a ride? I said, yeah. Picked me up. He took me to my house. We got to know each other. We exchanged telephone numbers. So he became my companion, my friend. He was listening on a telephone discussion today. I got a call from a brother who doesn't live far from here. He got a baby. He's in Liverpool right now. Maybe some of you may know him. He told me he may come here today. But anyway, he lives in one of these cities close to here. Had a baby daughter. His baby daughter's in the hospital. And she's on a life support. And it seems like it's not going to work out. And Allah knows best. He called me for 2 days now. Should we pull the plug? They say they have to operate this, that, in the month of Ramadan. That's not our situation. Allah gave us good health. Our children have good health. So many good things. This one is going to go to Umrah. That one is going to do this, that. So many things are happening. So from that ayat and from that surah, the Muslim, he should give thanks to Allah Azza wa Jal in the prayer, simply by making wudu. The Prophet ﷺ said, whenever Bani Adam wakes up in the morning, Allah Ta'ala said, he has to give sadaqah for all of his limbs. 10 toes, 10 fingers, and the limbs. The elbow, the wrist, every limb. You have to give a sadaqah. Prophet Muhammad said, if you make 2 rakat for duha, then you took care of that. Shukr to Allah Azza wa Jal. 2 rak'ah. A hadith, the Prophet says, Sallallahu Ya ibni Adam irka li arba' raka'atin fi awal nahar akfi laka akhir. Oh, son of Adam, pray 4 rak'ah of duha for me. 4 in the daytime, I'll protect you for the rest of the day. So the person who comes to the masjid, especially now in Ramadan, because we're going to do more, if he stays in the masjid until the sun comes up, that's salatul duha. Before salatul dhuhr, by an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, that's salatul duha. And you can make 12 of them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. So, ikhwani, this is what we wanted to present to you, brothers, in the way of advice, in the way of trying to spread the sunnah. Again, for the brothers who came in late, if you come into the masjid, the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in an authentic hadith, anyone who comes into the masjid, do not sit down until you pray 2 rak'ahs. You have to pray 2 rak'ahs in any and every masjid when you come in. If a person comes in after Salat al-Asr, he prayed Asr somewhere, now he came, you still have to pray those 2 rak'ahs. The only time you don't pray these 2 rak'ahs in the masjid is when the sun is coming up and you come into the masjid, don't pray. And when the sun is setting, you come to the masjid for Maghrib and the sun is setting, don't pray. But also, don't sit down. Stay standing up until the sun comes up, and then you won't disobey the Prophet. You didn't sit down, nor did you pray. And if you come in at Maghrib when it's setting, don't sit down. Wait until the sun goes down, and then the muaddin makes the adhan, then you pray the 2 rak'ahs, and then you sit down. These are 2 of the important salats that the Prophet taught us. You want to get his intercession, Yawmul Qiyamah? You want to get his intercession? Then we can't be like the Jews and the Christians. Allah said about the Jews and the Christians, لَيْسَ بِأَمَانِيِّكُمْ وَلَا أَمَانِيِّ أَهْلُ الْكِتَابِ. This religion is not wishful thinking of you or the Ahlul Kitab. Ahlul Kitab, they said, Christians said, if you believe Jesus died for your sins, you're going to go to paradise. That's wishful thinking. Allah didn't say that. The Jews say, if you're born a Jew, if you're in the Jew, then you're going to go to paradise. Well, where do you get that from? And the Muslim thinks, just because I'm a Muslim, the Prophet going to give me intercession? No, it's not wishful thinking. It's when you hear him saying something and you didn't know it, then right away do it. Don't be shy and don't worry about the people.